Today in this short presentation video, I'd like to discuss the exfiltration of intellectual property and how Lumeta can help organizations identify the assets on their network to enable companies to protect one of their most valuable assets, their intellectual property. As you are aware, today's environment consists of widespread cyber attacks and data breaches, making it essential for organizations to have the ability to identify and secure their entire network and protect commercial secrets that represent a major economic threat if that information is stolen. While it may sound mundane, an organization cannot protect what it can't see or doesn't know. A first and critical step to protecting critical intellectual property assets is to acquire an authoritative view of what you have and where it is. As of right now, unfortunately, on large enterprise networks, this is more easily said than done. Oftentimes, despite the best management and record keeping, we find that asset management databases are routinely wrong and out of date. And the larger the networks are, the less awareness and visibility there is to the location of critical assets. The increasing and deliberate use of server virtualization and cloud-based assets further complicates the matter because compute, memory, and disk can be spun up and down in near real time. And management for these assets may be more siloed with virtual admins or cloud admins, within departments having responsibility for implementing resources. Additionally, from a business perspective, there are frequent reorganizations, merger and acquisition activity, or consolidation activities which may further cloud the picture. So a fundamental question that needs to be determined is, where is the data that we want to protect? Do we know where it is? On which server infrastructure? Do we know where to look? Can I see and access the physical and virtual servers on the data center networks where my assets are located? Are there rogue, unknown, or forgotten servers in the infrastructure? To illustrate the problem, here are some examples of customers that we have helped with situational awareness of their networks. This data is the rule and not the exception in the customer engagements that we are involved in. These are all global organizations with very talented and sophisticated IT and operation teams. They all have asset management, vulnerability assessment, cybersecurity teams, and tools in place. In all cases, an authoritative assessment achieved by crawling techniques identified networks that were unknown or unreachable. On those networks were compute resources with intellectual property content that was less visible to the organization. On average, we identify and map 15 to 20% more infrastructure to help these organizations understand the location of their assets and their cybersecurity posture, such as ports accessible, how assets are connected into the network, certificates, etc. Finally, this is an example of a customer that needed to understand where critical IP assets were located across a global organization. All those assets were known to be running on Windows 2012 server infrastructure. The customer needed to scope their network and map location and routers to critical intellectual property resources. By using Lumeta to crawl the global network infrastructure, starting from a seed list of what the organizations believed was in use, a Lumeta network assessment including host discovery and OS fingerprinting identified approximately 700 Windows 2012 servers. Lumeta provided that insight to the CISO office, serving as a basis for further cataloging of the documents on those IP resources. And as a byproduct, Lumeta identified a legacy route to a former business unit that had been spun off. Lumeta's Network Situational Awareness Platform is the authoritative source for network infrastructure and cybersecurity analytics. Using recursive networking and indexing, Lumeta provides comprehensive visibility into the entire network, every IP, asset, host, and node, and gives organizations the ability to locate and identify the unknown connections and devices on their network, enabling them to better protect sensitive content. That's the end of our presentation today. Thank you for listening. For more of our videos, please visit our YouTube channel at the following URL.